Welcome back to High School Backups Podcast. My name is Jake. I'm here with Nick and Kyle, and today we're talking about NHL boom or bust players. First and foremost, make sure to go like and subscribe. If you like the video, please make sure to follow us on social media, High School Backups at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And Kyle, why don't you take it away? Tell me about some boom or bust players in the NHL.
So, there have been a lot of players that I really think have taken strides to be insane this year. Obviously, we know the usual suspects: McDavid, Draisaitl, Pastrnak, Kucherov. They're all taking strides to be the best of the best this year. But I want to really focus in on the players' names we don't hear that often. The ones who are really shining above the rest. The first one, who a few years, if you were to say 10 years ago, this player's name, household name, everyone knows him. Eric Carlson is back, baby. I am so excited to see him
38
on
and
this
back.
list. He is, he's not that old, I don't think. Is he actually that old?
I know he's old. Let me look it up.
I don't think he's that old.
He's an old man. 32. Okay.
32. I was like, I don't think he's that old. Eric Carlson, 16 goals, 50 assists for 66 points. He is back, baby. Yeah, he's back because he wants to get traded the fuck out of San Jose. That's for sure. He wants out of that hellhole. But I am pumped to see him back as being one of the best defensemen in the league. I don't know.
Yeah, I love it.
I feel if NHL needs a comeback player of the year award because he would be it right now.
Yes.
I don't know why
Do
they don't
not have one.
They don't. They have something similar to it, where they give it to the player who had like. It's kind of like the comeback player of the year award, but that's not its official title. Essentially,
Okay, got it.
it's like player who had like the biggest story type thing.
Well, I guess that's sort of the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Joe Burr, MVP this year. Let's go. Anyway, so yeah, I would agree with Eric Carlson and Kyle. I'll bring. I know your list, and I agree. I'll bring the one that I brought up and added to your list. Linus Ullmark as my slightly biased but very true boom player this year. Me and Kyle were talking about it. What was it, Kyle? 25 wins.
25, 3-1.
1.
Absolutely insane.
At 20, that puts him at 29 games played with 25 wins. Save percentage of 1.86, I think is what I told you.
Yeah.
And then
0.937 save percentage. Absolutely insane.
Me and Cal were talking about earlier in the season on the podcast of, if he was over like a 0.92, like that's like a great goalie right there. Like, that's a great season. He is beyond that at a 0.937 and pushing towards a 0.94. So, what do you think, Kyle? He continues to be great.
I never would have pictured, if you were to ask me a couple years ago, what goalie will you think will take a step forward and really shine? I would not have bet money that goalie would have been Linus Ullmark. No shot. When he signed with the Bruins a couple years ago, I was like, why? This is their downfall. This is where it's going to happen. Yeah, I was wrong. What the?
I'd have been more wrong, considering he's like the Vezina winner this year because no one else is really playing that insane.
Nobody's even close.
like the thing is, there are people who are great who have a chance at it always. Igor being one of them, and Vasilevsky being the other one. But even if he were to lose out, like he would have to lose really bad and lose out, and I just don't that happening. Even though the Bruins could be turning a corner here, who knows? But with 2 losses in a row,
2 losses in a row,
the
Nick,
horror,
really,
bro, the horror.
Jim Montgomery said they need to figure it out because he's not liking what he's seeing. So,
bro. Being a Boston sports fan, there's nothing that infuriates me more than Boston sports fans and Boston sports radio. It like one thing goes wrong and it's like the downfall of the universe.
Okay, go ahead, Kyle. What's the next on your list?
Next one, 2 players from the same team who I think this team. I want to hop on this team's bandwagon, man. They have been, not really. I'm not going to leave my team. I love the Rangers, but if I were to pick a second favorite team to cheer for, because this team has been ass for the last decade and a half, the Buffalo Sabres are on the verge of a wild card spot, and I am so happy for their fans. But I am also happy for these 2 players. Tage Thompson has been on fire. 34 goals, 34 assists for 68 points. He is an all-star this year. Well deserved. Like, this kid came over from St. Louis in the Ryan O'Reilly trade, taken a few years to hit his stride, and he has gone off.
gone absolutely crazy. And that Sabres team is like fun to watch against the Bruins, which I
Yeah.
don't think I'd ever say.
Yeah.
But they're always a good game. And it's just, dude, they look like a young team when they lost when they got rid of Taylor Hall. It feels like that actually helped them and
I
helped the Bruins.
agree.
But it feels like
I agree.
it kind of took away some of the veterans that they need to get rid of so that they could focus on their,
Mm.
the
Our
young guys.
youngsters. And speaking of the youngsters, second player from this team, Rasmus Dahlin. Really taking he's right now at 14 goals, 41 assists for 55 points, which is already his career high in points. He's already at
Yeah,
55 points. It's already his career high, and we still have roughly 30-ish games left to play this year.
crazy. And
I love it.
yeah. And I mean, if we're talking comeback player of the year as well, like we did with Allmark, I'm gonna switch gears as well, a
Mm.
little bit, with Tage Chomp and Darlene playing great. Um, let's look a little bit at people who have kind of sucked that have been doing pretty good this year. I want to talk about two people specifically I pulled up here. Tarasenko has been playing pretty damn well for someone that looked awful, for a couple of seasons, so I'm pretty happy for him. And furthermore, oh crap, where's the other one I was looking at? Oh my god, I completely forgot. Well, I'm spacing, but Tarasenko's being the big one. Oh yes, not someone that came back. What about Matty Beniers, the young kid,
Dude,
the real
the
young kid?
rookie. The
Yeah, that dude came out of
rookie.
nowhere, bro.
I
He's
love
gross for a
it.
team. The Kraken, who obviously didn't do it as quick as the Golden Knights did, but definitely look much better this
By,
year than they did last year.
by not as quick, you mean instead of doing it in year one, doing it in year two, which
Exactly.
is still insane, dude. Like, look,
Bro,
Matty Beniers go for it. That's a fact.
I'm
what
pretty
is up with NHL and their expansion teams,
I'm
man?
pretty
They
sure the
just-
Jaguars did that in the NFL too. Like year 3 they went to the AFC Conference Championship game.
good,
Essentially,
dude. Good
yeah.
for
The
them.
the Texans haven't found as much success, but hey.
All right. Any other breakout boom players you're looking at, Nick?
No, I'm good.
All right. Now for the bust side of things. These players are not necessarily doing the worst. They're just doing below expectations for what they were. Were expected to do. First of which signed a massive contract in the offseason with a new team. He switched from the West Coast to the East Coast, joined a team that no one really expected him to join. Johnny Gaudreau left Calgary and joined the Blue Jackets, signed a massive 9 years, $68.6 million contract, and has only have 48 points so far. So
Not the 70 he needs to make
exactly.
up for
Like
that contract.
he's not doing awful. Like he is I'm pretty sure he is the point score like leader on the Blue Jackets, which is
I mean,
sad.
they
That's
are
not
awful.
saying much, dude.
In his
No.
defense, they are awful.
They are doing awful for his benefit, but that's still not nearly what they signed him to be. So, Johnny Gaudreau is really struggling with the team around him. Another player who signed a contract extension this year, who I didn't really think was worth this money at the time of the contract, but I looked into what he did last year. Definitely thought he would deserve this contract, but hasn't lived up to this deal right now. Robert Thomas signed a contract extension with the St. Louis Blues, 8 years, $65 million, and has 43 points on the year.
Not playing up to his potential, and the Blues kind of
No.
suck too. But
Yes,
um,
the Blues are kind of falling apart. I could see the Blues going full blown rebuild in the next year or two, kind of blowing it up and starting fresh. Because Robert Thomas, you expect more from him. Like you signed that massive contract and only having 12 goals. That's not what you signed that extension for. So something's going wrong with St. Louis. Hopefully they figure it out because I like Robert Thomas. You know, I like his kind of style.
I like Jason Robertson better, so we're good.
Jason Robertson is a lot
another
better.
possible boom. Another conversation we had. Any other boomer bust for you, Kyle? I was trying to look
do.
at. I feel like a lot of the leagues kind of in the middle. They haven't proved it
Yeah.
either way yet.
I do have one more though because he was this was an offseason trade where I thought this team that he went to won the trade. Hasn't quite looked like that at the moment, but when Jonathan Huberdeau was traded from the Panthers to the Flames for Matthew Tkachuk, I thought the Flames won this deal. And considering Jonathan Huberdeau had 115 points last year and he has a whopping 33.
Hey,
He's-
Kyle, you remember that conversation we had on the podcast
I
about how I said
do.
that they won
Yes.
that
So
trade? And
I
Matthew
do.
Tkachuk?
The reason that they won that trade is mostly because the added bonus of the defenseman that they got
That's
with
fine.
that
I
trade.
said they won the trade. I said Matthew Tkachuk at the very least was a wash with Huberdeau, but he's been better,
He has been
and
better.
they had got an extra piece. So all I'm saying is I was right. So it's fine.
Yeah, you were
You
right.
just
I'll
yeah
admit it.
yeah.
I'll
This
admit
this
you're
one
right.
case I was right. You know.
Anyway, that's all I have for
Oh,
Boomer
there's
Bust.
one
Do you
more
have
bust
any more?
this year. Igor Shishurk. I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
get out of here!
I'm just kidding.
Get
Igor's
outta
been butt
here.
cheeks. No, I'm just
Stop the
kidding. I
madness!
am
Oh
just
my
kidding.
god.
Anyways, you're muted in some fashion, Jake. I don't know how.
Oh,
but-
my bad. My mic was muted. I said from what I hear, Igor sucks. But
He does. He
Listen.
does. He's a top three
I know,
goalie
I
in the
know.
league. But he's not first or second right now. So
he's top 3, but he's not 1 or
He-
2.
I'm just. He's not doing as well. His team's not doing as well this year as he did
No,
last year.
his team is not the team. It's not doing as well this year. He himself is doing fine. He has 20
But you know,
wins and 11
Vasilevsky and
losses.
Allmark are doing better. So
Yeah, he's just not Linus Ulmark, so.
big boom.
You,
So
actually, you know who is doing really well that isn't getting a lot of love is Connor Hellebuck.
yes,
Connor Hellebuck is doing real
the
good.
problem one why he's not getting a lot of love because we didn't call him a boom because he always plays this well. He's
No,
been good
exactly.
for a
Yes.
while.
No, I know.
But he's a top 5 goalie and maybe
Yeah.
probably 4. So like like it's not like say even though statistically he's like number 2. So
Yes.
okay, that's all I have.
All I
boys.
got too.
All right, boys. Again, make sure to go like and subscribe if you like the video. Make sure to follow the socials, High School Backups with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And peace.